That's fair. That's also a good point. So even if I was streaming, yeah, I wouldn't know how Twitch would go. We got 4,000 up. It's looking all right. It is looking all right. Let's head over to the Twitch and see if it's going. I see us. Can I hear us?
I see an advertisement, and there's I have the browser muted, but there is a space shuttle.
Yep. Says the angry chicken.
An angry man. There's a rover. He's got stripes on his shirt. Oh.
I got a new mouse today, and it is very rainbowy.
Ooh.
And it now matches my keyboard, and it just keeps changing color.
Is that a Naga?
No.
I see a lot of buttons on the side.
It does, yes. So it has the 12 buttons on the side because that's the only kind of mouse I can use now. But no, it's a red dragon. So now it matches my keyboard because I have tried Razors. I've tried Corsairs. I've tried. I feel like there's one other brand. Oh, Logitech. Yeah. And I break all of them within 12 months. But my red dragon keyboard has lasted me for I go through peripherals like crazy.
I replace mice about every 3 years.
I'm like mice about 1 year and keyboards 8 to 12 months. Like
what the fuck?
Yeah, my WASDERs all gone always.
What? Are you a pro player and you just haven't told us?
No, I guess
you like racking? Are you off on some secret like Dead by Daylight pro tour? Like you just don't fucking tell anybody?
I play enough hours that I probably could be if they had it in esport.
That's how I'm feeling about V-Rising at the moment. That I got so hopelessly hooked on that game while I was sick.
Oh, so did Matt. He wasn't sick, but he was playing on a server with all his friends, and he was having a great old time.
Day one of COVID, I was like, hey, Diablo Immortal, this is fun. And then I made the mistake of buying the Battle Pass, which is horrible. And I immediately made me hate the game and hate my decision to give them $15. And Kyle was like, hey, I started playing V-Rising. You should probably check it out. And now I have 30 some odd hours in that game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt said he's done. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's really
or
open
how many
in that
hours,
game.
But yeah.
For like
he's like maxed out his character's gear level, I guess.
Okay, I would consider that done. Yeah. I mean, it's like Valheim. You can kind of set your own goals, right? Like, I'll probably not be very interested once I finish killing all the bosses. Like I'll probably kind of feel.
Well, yeah, he said he did all the bosses, all the areas, and his gear is as high as it goes. So he doesn't know what to do now. So he's done.
He could. You know what? I need someone to water my castle when I go to Key West next month. So if he could water my castle, I'd really appreciate.
I'm sure he'd be up for that.
Stardew Valley.
Kind of. I think.
But blood.
Yeah, you can grow like. I don't know. What do you call them? Thralls?
Oh, no. So you can totally farm in that game. But no, your castle runs off of a heart that you have to continually feed blood or your castle decays. And at the moment, my castle is only upgraded to the point where I can keep it. I can stack enough blood in it to where it won't decay for 8 days. But it's 8 real days.
One Hanukkah.
Yes. One might call it 8 crazy nights. If that's what you call wanton murder so that you can gather enough blood to keep your home alive. Which honestly sounds more sustainable than the current housing market.
Yeah, I don't like that that's true.
We just got our first house in Final Fantasy, and let me tell you how realistic that was. That was extremely analogous to the real housing market, up to and including the crippling uncertainty of actually being able to get a home.
I brought a beer today. We're getting dark real quick.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell I had COVID?
Yes.
My outlook on the state of the world is a little darker than usual. And let's be honest, it's never been that bright.
I was going to say.
Listen, we've been through some shit as a people, as an Earth, as a spaceship Earth. Welcome to Earth. You should probably leave.
Okay, Will Smith did not say that. He just said, "Welcome to Earth," and that was it.
Yeah, which is funny. It was after he knocked out the alien, so the alien didn't even hear him. You know, it was really... It's a good thing that camera guy was there pointing a camera at Will Smith.
I don't really think I watch Independence Day for the plot all that much. I mean, I like that the good guys win at the end.
As long as that's what you're not watching for the plot.
Yeah. I don't know. There's explosions, and then there's that one really good speech, and then there are more explosions.
Yeah, and then there's that sequel that I still want my money back from.
No, there wasn't.
It was totally fine, and you're just a curmudgeon.
That movie is bad. Jeff Goldblum deserved better.
He got to make another Jurassic World, which apparently is also bad.
Oh, dude, did you read the article that everyone's retweeting?
The one where the director couldn't make an audience gasp if he deprived them of oxygen?
Yes, that one. The one with that line in it. Yeah.
Yes.
I was in tears reading that review last night. It is the most brutal thing I've ever read in my life. I've never read a more vicious takedown of anything, and it was for freaking Jurassic World 3. Oh,
But did that person like 1 and 2? Because, like, if you're going to a Jurassic World movie, you know what you're signing up for. They're not great, but they're dinosaurs.
The first Jurassic World was solid. The first World was okay.
I think the second one is actually a better movie.
I liked them both, but I also liked the second Independence Day. So
yeah. So I had this conversation with.
Did shit blow up? Good movie. Are there dinosaurs? Good movie. Like my bars are
Those
low.
Things did happen.
You also like the Meg, yeah. So
yeah, giant shark. Good movie.
Okay, Joce, I want you to know the day I had.
Start doing like 4-word movie reviews. Twitter.
I want you to know the day I had. I was accused of having too low of expectations today by a chat room on YouTube because I said I liked the new Obi-Wan show. And I want those motherfuckers to come here and listen to you talk about how Jurassic World, The Meg, and Independence Day Resurgence are good movies.
Well, I mean, they gave me what I signed up for. Like, my expectations were low. They delivered on low expectations. Good movie.
I'm not, it's
all about expectation.
Do you have low expectations, or do you just have realistic expectations?
I mean, low realistic.
You don't have to choose. Yeah, those are
same thing.
Simultaneous.
Yeah,
it's both happening at the same time.
I've been talking about Jurassic movies with friends a lot lately, and I've come to the conclusion that the Jurassic World films are the most I cannot like something and still enjoy watching it. Like, if I think about it if you ask me, is it a good movie? I go, fuck no. It's absolute trash. But
trash can be good.
I've seen both of them multiple times.
Taco Bell. It's Taco Bell.
There you go.
No, Taco Bell's good. I like Taco Bell.
But
it's trash.
No, it's good.
Come on.
Taco Bell's fine.
We eat it because it's trash, not in spite of it's trash. This is not an insult. This is just the truth.
Listen, we are in full pre-show. I realize it's 8:30. Strap in, everybody. Enjoy. Taco Bell is the fast food that makes me feel the best. Like, I can think of any other fast food and I feel worse after it.
Yeah, no, we've actually had this conversation, Garrett and I, before, where about Taco Bell. We're like, McDonald's? I don't understand why everyone's butt explodes because I can eat Taco Bell and I'm fine.
No, yeah, Chipotle, okay. Taco Bell really doesn't bother me.
When I eat it, my brain sends signals to the rest of my body, like, whatever that was, it wasn't food. Let's just
get it out.
That's what happens when I drink coffee. You're describing coffee, which is an actual diuretic. No, like I love McDonald's. Like it makes me feel terrible after I eat it. Burger King murders me. Checkers, I will need to go to a doctor if I have Checkers.
And I have not had a Big Buford in forever.
Checkers was my shit in high school, and I can't even smell it. If I smell it, I need to go to the toilet. Like, but I always like Taco Bell. I'm just like, yeah, I feel fine. I'm going on a road trip, and I don't have time to eat. I go get Taco Bell because I know I'll be okay.
Oh my God, that sounds like a bad movie.
What you're describing?
The premise of a bad.
What you're describing is the Arby's effect. What happens to you is what happens to me after Arby's. Where my body goes, that was definitely not real meat.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about this, Matt and I don't think I've ever actually had Arby's.
That's probably for the best.
If you follow through with your Florida visit, we should rectify that. You just have to have it once.
Hat, is he trying to kill me?
No, it's
just like
it can
if
be
you're
okay.
Traveling somewhere to see someone and you're having an exciting time, putting Arby's in the list of things I have to do seems like just a misalignment of the purpose of a vacation.
If you haven't had it before, I just feel like, I don't know, there's something quintessential.
They have A&W's up there, which is pretty close to Arby's. It's pretty close. A&W's has curly fries, right?
No.
It doesn't have curly fries?
Oh, that's the best thing at Arby's.
It is.
It's like the reason I want to go to Arby's. And if I just have the fries, I'm fine. If I get that fake cheese, man, I'm done. It's over.
Oh, no, never. They have some, the turkey bacon ranch sandwich. Is usually was my go-to at Arby's, which doesn't it's a real sandwich.
Chad, curly fries are the only thing at Arby's, right? They used to have deep fried cheesecake bites, and they were god tier. They were one of the best snacks I have ever had.
With the raspberry dipping sauce.
Yeah, bro, you know what I'm talking about.
So good. They were like, I always felt like refried ass after I ate them. Like it just felt awful.
I want to be clear,
but I just couldn't resist.
I haven't had that since the second year I had a driver's license. That's the last time I had one of their deep fried cheesecake things. Which at that point, my constitution was unfallible. Like I worked in a kitchen, and as the baker, I would just eat spoonfuls of cookie dough all day. I never gained a pound, and I never got sick. I was fine. I was a different person. I was not a human when I was 17 years old.
Yeah, I was young and a young manager at a movie theater, and I worked entirely nights, and just everything about any rhythm my body had was completely fucked. So like my diet, I don't think would have made top 3 of most broken things about me at that time, and it was still awful. It was really, really bad.
Yeah. Chad, I used to think In-N-Out was overhyped, and the last BlizzCon I had it again, and I don't know if I was just like in this Independence Day resurgence mode where I wasn't expecting much, but it was like exactly what I wanted. And I have been chasing it. I cannot find a burger locally that even comes. There's just something about it. There's something the way they make their burger that I do like. Their fries are the second worst fries on earth.
They're not good, but their burger tastes like the memory you have of eating McDonald's as a kid. In-N-Out tastes like that memory. It just brings back all this lizard brain happiness.
But, I'm not going to yuck your gum.
Well, okay, the fast food experience you had growing up as a kid when you were excited to get whatever fast food burger you got, In-N-Out tastes like that memory and evokes that kind of happiness in a really primal way. Like it's not trying to be anything more than that. And it's like a $5 burger, but it's like the best $5 burger that tastes like your memories of being happy eating a burger.
It was just a good burger. Also, I like their sauce, and no one here has that sauce. It's a good sauce.
Yeah.
No curly fries at A&W, by the way. We have chili cheese fries. We have cheese curds. We have onion rings, and we have fries. Yeah.
Like it's like the root beer brand, right? And then they have like restaurants with like burgers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have one in our local mall. Like Katie and I, when we dated in high school, went to A&W, and now they're gone. You can't find an A&W anywhere in the States. I don't know what happened, but I loved them. They were great.
They all came up here, apparently.
I guess so. Yeah.
Can we? Josh, do you know why there's no poutine in my country? Like, do you know why we don't do the thing you do?
Because you hate the French?
Here's the thing, though. Poutine is literally everything Americans love injecting their fat asses with.
So, I don't understand why we don't do
French
it.
fries, gravy, and cheese. These are like the 3 biggest hits of everything I absolutely love to eat that I shouldn't be eating. The things 100% responsible for the reason that when I went and saw my doctor last month, he went, "You're mostly fine." I don't get it.
Why don't we do that as a culture here? And for what it's worth, like I understand the French stereotypes, but the food in Montreal is insane. I went to Frito-Lay the last time I was there, and you ordered poutine for dinner, and they give you like a salad bowl full of it, and I got through 10%, and I was like, I ordered too much food, and then just kept going because it was a giant bowl of fries and smoked meat covered in cheese and gravy. Let me tell you, those Quebecois, they know how to smother things in cheese and gravy.
Oh, yeah.
Right now at Epcot, the special poutine in Canada has this like sausage and pepper solution with cheese that they put on top, and it's only for the current festival that's happening. And we got it the last 3 times we went to Epcot, and I love it. I'm ready to get in my car right now, drive 2 hours to Orlando just to go get it.
I'll meet you there.
If I leave now, they'll be closed in 30 minutes. Fuck. Yeah, I'm all about it.
I'm not a huge fan of gravy either, but I'll eat a poutine.
You know, I'm good. Not the I like gravy at Thanksgiving.
I don't have gravy on meat. I don't have gravy on like potatoes, like with anything.
Thanksgiving gravy, thing. I'm all about like biscuits and gravy. I don't need it.
But without the gravy, poutine wouldn't be the perfect hangover food. You want it when you're drunk, and you want it when you're sobering up. You want it on both ends.
There's got to be a better way to phrase that.
Yep.
The problem is that's why I picked that one.
and Chad, sadly, Jack in the Box is not this far east because I love it, and I ate it all the time when I lived in LA. And Jocelyn knows that I get it every damn time we're out there for BlizzCon. Because I believe I've thrown an egg sandwich at her on more than one occasion. But no, we don't have them out here. Those are the best, worst tacos on earth. I love their crappy tacos. They're technically food. It's great.
And we're back to Taco Bell again.
All right. Well, you want to do?
Let's talk about Hearthstone.
You want to? Yeah, you want to taco? You want to do attack? Oh.
Okay.
Taco.
Just a joke. I got nothing. I'm gonna put
JBX.
The what?
JBX Grill. That's in chat.
I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue.
You guys have so many places to eat down there. I have no idea what most of your chains are.
The other chain I really miss from California is Del Taco. Dear God, I wish they would open one here. I would never go to Taco Bell again, as much as I love Taco Bell. Anyway,
I wish there was Raising Cane's up here, but we don't.
I've never had it. Is everyone recording?
Yes,
I am now.
Cool. I'm gonna do this thing. You see what it says? It says there. We're gonna do that in 3, 2, 1. The Angry Chicken Hearthstone podcast is produced by amove.tv. Check out amove TV for more podcasts covering Blizzard games. For more of Jocelyn's gaming podcasts, visit jossplays.com. And to find many more podcasts with Ridiculous Hat, follow @RidiculousHat on Twitter. Every episode of TAC is made possible thanks to our legendary patrons over at patreon.com/TAC.
Time's up. Let's do this. Legendary. You face Jaraxxus. You smell like a leopard gnome. I knew it. So hot. A podcast about Hearthstone and Battlegrounds. This is The Angry Chicken.
Greetings and welcome back, me. This is The Angry Chicken. I'm Garrett, here for the first time in over 2 months with both Jocelyn and Ridiculous Hat. Holy
Hello,
crap.
friends.
Did you know there's a pandemic happening?
Apparently. How do you know that, Garrett?
Oh, because I got COVID, which I'm assuming you mentioned last week, but
yes.
Yeah.
I think we did. Yeah, we must
We
have.
said you were sick. I don't
I
know
can't remember if we said the actual reason, but I think we did.
No, we did say that because at the beginning of the show, I remember saying, "I wish my friend didn't have COVID."
Boy, I wish your friend didn't have COVID either, because it sucked. Also, like any other illness I've ever gotten the same time as my lovely wife, Katie, she got over it almost immediately, and I just stayed a dead pile of meat wrapped in a skin sack for 4 to 5 times the amount of time.
That's the same with me and Matt, except reversed. He's like, oh, my throat's a little sore. I'm like, I'm dead for a week.
Oh boy, yeah, I did not have a great time. I am feeling great now. If you're watching on video, you're probably going to see me ride the mute button and cough a bunch. Yeah, I'm feeling great. Holy crap. I would so much rather be podcasting. That I got so bored of sleeping. I was so bored with sleep. That is such an awful feeling.
Have you tried just laying in bed and playing Marvel Snap?
Yes, I did that.
I have done that a lot.
I just laid in bed and played Marvel Snap. I just laid in bed and played Diablo Immortal. I just laid in bed.
Sick to do any of these things. Can we do these healthy?
You can be healthy and do that. There's really nothing stopping you except for, having to pay mortgage and or rent.
And my job.
Well, yeah, that's because you got to go to your job. Is there anything stopping you from playing Hearthstone or Marvel Snap at your job when no one's looking? Don't answer that.
Like, my job?
I mean, I'll sneak in a game here or there, but yes, there are multiple factors like fixing things and people. But outside of things and people, no.
I mean, fixing things and people are usually always the reason I'm not playing games. Like it's one of the two reasons. Other times it's dogs. They need pets. That's what I like about Marvel Snap, though. I can like one thumb play that game and then pet chihuahuas with the other hand. I could do it with Hearthstone, but I don't trust myself. I feel like
the landscape is not the same.
I got the smaller phone. I don't like big phones, so I could kind of like power grip this thing and try, but I don't like touchscreen for Hearthstone as it is. I've accidentally let go too many times. No, not gonna.
And there's no undo.
You are correct because the turns aren't done simultaneously, which didn't make any sense. I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys about. I guess Joce, I talked to you briefly about Snap. I haven't got to talk. Although Hat, you and I talked in Discord, so I feel like I have talked to you about Snap because I have talked to you about Snap.
Fun game. Probably Nerf Nova.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I don't know what that is because I found this other game called V Rising that then consumed the rest of my COVID time. I did nothing but play that game for one. And once I installed it, it was over. It was over. That game is really good. But you know what else I'm rather enjoying at the moment is Hearthstone. Got back to it over the weekend. The only thing though, I found myself recently not having 30 minutes to burn, so I've been playing Battlegrounds to save myself some time.
That's definitely fair. I find if I'm not the control warrior, I am facing the control warrior.
I had a really good run today where I got up, made my coffee. I'm like, I'm going to play some Hearthstone this morning. I'm going to go get my quest done because I didn't get any quests done while I was sick and I got a backlog I got to work my ass through. And it was great. I was like, oh, wait, maybe what I experienced over the weekend was just a fluke. Like maybe there's no warriors now. And then I got one and I was like, and they played a quest and I was like, oh, thank God. I've never been so happy to see the warrior quest played across from me. And then about an hour ago, Katie's like, hey, dinner will be ready in 20 minutes. I'm like, I can totally sneak in one more standard game. And this is what how does this feel like? How does it feel like for you two? Because right now for me, it feels like you ever I'm not condoning this. You ever jaywalk? don't answer that question. But you know that feeling of crossing the street when you're not supposed to, and you're just doing the back and forth look, like looking right, looking left, looking right, looking left. Unless you're in a major city and it's a one-way road and you actually remember what direction traffic travels. You're like, okay, no one's looking. And then the second you go to step on the road, a freaking car goes past. That's what it feels like right now. Like, maybe I won't get Control Warrior. Maybe I won't. And that's how I felt right before dinner. I got time. I can do it. I'm going to get lucky. I'm not going to get the Control Warrior. I want to try this Beast Hunter list I haven't played yet. 30-minute game against a Control Warrior.
You could have just conceded.
No, I won. I won. I saw. I was like, I don't really know how to play this deck, but I think I can win this. And I did, and I could. And I had a cold dinner. So, Team 5, I want you to know I had a cold dinner tonight because of what you were allowing to happen on ladder right now. When we said we wanted to slow the meta down, it's not like this. Not like this.
People want to control meta. They got it.
No, they want to control meta. Not a single deck that just decides this is now a MOBA. You and not Heroes of the Storm. You've now signed up for a game of Dota. Congratulations.
Though there are actually a ton of decks that slow the game down right now, it is ironically a board-based format that is super hostile to minions. It's kind of funky.
Right. Remember, because we were talking like, well, if they get what they're like, it looked like in the preview for this set, for the standard year, we were looking at it like, oh, it kind of looks like they're going for a minion-based slower meta. Joke's on us. We got a slower meta that's not minion-based.
They kind of went. So it's interesting to talk about because there's been a lot of discussion around the way that people die in this format. A lot of times in these slower games, you die from Mr. Smite from hand or whatever. But it's not like Stormwind where turn 7, draw my whole deck, kill you with spells. It's turn 13, all your stuff is dead, and I have time to put together a 6-card Smite combo or buff it 6 times with Cariel, and now you're dead. Where instead of the combo tools being so good that people go off faster than aggressive decks can handle or control decks can handle, the control tools are by far the best thing right now. Think about how bad Iron Deep Trog is at the moment. When's the last time you saw an Iron Deep Trog?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fairly certain it rotated out.
Exactly. It kind of did. Because the good cards are like, you got like Noel, obviously, but Shield Shatter is great. Everything Paladin does, all the Demon Hunter stuff. Playing 1-drops right now, like, actually kind of sucks. So all these games take a while, but because the control tools are good, playing minions is bad, so people have all the time in the world to assemble these truly awful, will never survive a larger format from hand combos. Like Priest, they win with Elwyn Boar. A lot. And that wouldn't happen in Stormwind. Stormwind, like, you try and kill people with Elwyn Boar, they're like, I will play one single glide, and now your deck doesn't work anymore. But when it comes to now, everyone has time and minions just die. So it's very interesting that the symptom of people dying to Mr. Smite from hand is only because it's really, really good right now to play things that kill minions and not really great to play threats that you're developing. It's interesting. Really, really fascinating.
And yet in the world of mere mortals that I inhabit as a non-legend player, I had a perfectly fine time over the weekend with Mech Paladin.
Oh, Mech Paladin's great at High Legend, too. It's great everywhere.
Oh, I just assumed it wasn't because it wants to play minions.
Their minions are very sticky to a lot of stuff because of all those pesky bubbles.
Exactly. Yeah, you can run the control decks out of stuff. And Mech Paladin, remember that before the Drekthar nerf, Mech Paladin got completely housed by Demon Hunter because they would go under you and over you. Like, they would play a lot of really fast minions and then also mess you up with damage. But now Demon Hunter is so much slower, even though it's a really good deck still. You can play stuff as Mech Paladin, then they can't kill it because they don't have a bunch of cheap stuff and crazy Drekthar bombs. And you can actually keep up with them. So Mech Paladin is pretty well positioned right now. Yeah,
I got a little scared when I took a look at HS Replay before I jumped in over the weekend and saw that, according to their meta analysis, that the Demon Hunter's on top, and I was like, oh no, are we back here again? But I haven't really seen any demon hunters. They don't seem to be particularly popular in the kind of middle of the road where I inhibit. I kind of caught waves. I saw a lot of rogues for a while. Then I saw a lot of pirate warriors for a while. And then I finally started seeing the control warriors. But yeah, I haven't run into a lot of demon hunters. That's relieving to hear that I don't need to just auto-concede when I see them as a paladin, because that's how it was feeling before the nerfs that now feel like a million years ago.
Not even a month ago.
Yeah, well, when you go through a plague experience, time feels weird.
Yeah. I believe you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. And then, boy, Battlegrounds feels old.
Aw, poor Battlegrounds.
There's just something about it. Like I mean, Nagas drop off the face of the friggin' earth, but we kind of, Joce, you and I kind of got into this. It feels weird without buddies, like in a way that I can't really articulate because I was very ready for them to go, but without them, and especially now that Naga feel bad, it's like, oh, I'm just kind of playing old Battlegrounds minus buddies and basically minus Naga because no one really wants them at the moment.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of mechs, a lot of beasts, a lot of like demons, like stuff I've really seen before. And you're right, without Naga and without buddies, it's like, oh, I'm back, 8 months, a year ago, whatever. Like it feels very old school BGs. And I think did we talk about this last week or the week before? Can't remember.
Seems plausible.
Yeah. I was like, I know we talked about Battlegrounds at some point. But yeah, like, I don't know. I just, it feels really odd. And I wish that they had something to replace buddies with. And I don't know what, but yeah.
I would. I maybe
feel weird.
Maybe instead of old, and like I know it's in some corners of the internet it's considered quite a strong insult, but I would say it feels basic. And I don't mean it in a strong way. I've been enjoying just from the sheer fact that I did not want to play a competitive card game while I'm sick. So I'm enjoying just kind of getting my feet wet again and getting my head wrapped around it. But it feels like quaint by comparison to how it felt before I stopped playing. Even after buddies left, just with Naga, Nagas were so bombastic. It at least felt different, I guess. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird place. We'll talk a little bit more about it later. But anyways, hey, been a while since I've been on the show, but thanks to our lovely patrons for supporting us over at patreon.com/TAC. Want to give an extra little shout out to patron Loren for upping their pledge. You didn't have to, but we appreciate that you did. Thank you. You know what? Lauren was probably sitting there being like, damn, this show's amazing because this Garrett guy's not on it. I'm going to give them a raise. That's probably what happened. But yeah.
I bet it's unlikely. I bet they were just trying to get you back.
They're like, oh, thank God that Garrett guy's
maybe if I drop some more dollars, then Garrett will come back.
Thank you for helping me recoup my ticket for Independence Day Resurgence. That's a reference to the pre-show, if you weren't here.
$1 at a time.
Garrett is anti-Garrett. Joce is pro-Garrett. I think that Loren is Garrett neutral, and they liked the show as a holistic entity.
Mm-hmm. That's a brave statement. It's a brave statement, Hat. Thank you for making it. But anyways, check it out, patreon.com/TAC. If you like the show, you want to support it, you want to get access to our lovely patron-only Discord and get an ad-free version of the show as a perk. That's for all levels of patrons. We thank you for your support. And now let's get into this week's Hearthstone news.
Good news, everyone!
Oh, no.
We got a hot fix. Happy days, everybody.
This is like the shortest news week in a long time.
Lord Barov is back in the Battlegrounds hero pool. I didn't miss him.
We can bet again.
We can bet again. Yes, betting is now legal in Battlegrounds once more. I mean,
I don't know if I would want to play him. I haven't tried to play him in a while, and obviously he was removed for a while. But I mean, yeah, lag in Battlegrounds has been really bad. I feel like every time it tries to generate my coins, that's going to be my whole turn.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty good today. I had some really bad lag over the weekend.
The tech stuff is really difficult right now. I played a BG's game on Sunday because I re-rolled into 1500 damage quest, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm playing some BG's today. Cleared it in one game because thanks Elizas, there were a lot of Elizas. So I successfully managed an APM Pirates game, but like it was definitely a bit of a struggle. And that's with like the frame rate cranked all the way up and playing on desktop and whatever. So I'm grateful I didn't try on mobile. But it's definitely like it's noticeable, but also I've been reassured both publicly and privately, yes, they know about it. And yes, they're working on it.
I don't know how they could not know about it because, like, there are videos, there are tweet threads, I'm sure there's probably even stuff on like LinkedIn. Like, it's everywhere. Everyone is talking about it.
Someone's on LinkedIn adding Blizzard employees like in a post, just like, "Yo, could you
I'm telling you, it's everywhere."
Listen, I don't want a job.
That was the most obscure social network thing I could think of.
I'm gonna risk never
getting defunct MySpace.
Never hire me. Please fix Battleground lag.
The company I work for, the large movie theater chain in the United States, I have gotten a message on LinkedIn saying your company doesn't have a customer service number and I'm having difficulty with my account.
Wow. Celestalon in the chat room says he's also gotten complaints via LinkedIn.
Yeah, but Celestalon needs to work on World of Warcraft.
It's absolutely a real thing.
I consistently forget that LinkedIn exists.
I usually remember when I change jobs and I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to update my LinkedIn because it's linked on my resume.
I updated it last year because I got credit in one of my master's classes for updating LinkedIn. I was like, you know what? There's some seriously old stuff in there, y'all. Did y'all know I made
it's everywhere was my point.
2011. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the big thing. There were a ton of bug fixes. Don't really want to go line for line, but I see Hat is really excited about Yasharaj event task number 9 and Mercenaries.
I mean, I'm not personally excited, but there were a lot of people that were concerned about this. Because if you're playing Mercs, you're doing the event chain, and a key component of it didn't function on a timed event that gave you stuff. So figured people should know, hey, if you were doing this, they fixed it.
Hooray!
Nice.
Go team!
Yes. See? Lepton in chat is very excited. Lepton was waiting for this, and now because we were a news show, we gave them the news, and now they can go do the thing. That's what we're here for.
Good job, guys. Pat yourselves on the back. There we go. We did it. We can go now.
We did our job.
Yeah.
Hold on. We have a sponsor to thank today.
The sponsor is not Hearthstone Mercenaries. That was not sponsored.
No, that was not. I wouldn't take I wouldn't take the money because I wouldn't be able to endorse it.
Well, no,
because I don't play it. No, it's not an indictment. I just don't play it.
I just assumed they would pay you into wrong character coins.
No, it's not an indictment of the game. An indictment of the game would be Diablo Immortal. That is the worst battle pass. I want my $15 back. That battle pass is trash.
That's not an indictment of the game. That's an indictment of the monetization because the game is fun, and that's the problem. Is that I want to play more. This is not a general gaming podcast.
No, it's not.
No, but congratulations on killing Skeleton King. The Skeleton King bundle is now only 99 cents in the store. Hope you enjoy that in your quest tracker. I'll tell them where they can shove that. I'll tell them.
Sounds like you have a bone to pick.
Don't. Actually, I just stopped playing it. They got my $15. Congratulations.
I just wanted to make the pun.
Oh.
You know, skeleton.
Because Skeleton King. Yeah.
I got it, Hat. Don't worry.
Thank you, Joce.
The D4
Garrett missed a week. He's rusty.
The D4 Necromancer trailer was amazing. Very excited for that game.
Everything about D4 looks amazing.
I'm also excited to thank our sponsor today. Today's episode is sponsored by Honey. I've mentioned this before. No, not the thing you eat, the thing that helps you save money when you install it on your browser of choice because it's free and it goes and scours the internet for coupon codes on your behalf. And it's a free shopping tool. You don't need to worry about this. And then it looks for the best codes and it applies the best one to your cart. And it supports over 30,000 stores. You know what I needed? You know what I really, really wanted when I was not feeling great because I was out with COVID? I wanted soup and bread. No, I wanted soup and bread. And I wanted to not leave my home because it would be extremely insensitive and reckless of me to leave my home to go get soup and bread. So I ordered soup and bread from a redacted chain. I was like, oh, hold on. Let me make sure. Let me make sure because I haven't used my laptop in a while. And this is exactly what I sounded like. This is a dramatic retelling. I was laying in bed, having a terrible time.
Melodramatic retelling.
I was like, all right, no, honey's working. Okay, cool. And it was like, would you like to see if we can save you some money on this soup and bread order you're about to put in? I was like, sure, go for it. I was like, would you like to save $2? I was like, yes, I would because I have to pay for delivery. So thank you, honey. You saved me some money when I direly needed comforting chicken noodle soup and a baguette, which really did improve my mood that day. So the only thing that could have made it better was not spending as much money as I had to on that soup and bread. So thank you for saving me money on that soup and bread. And you should go check them out at joinhoney.com/TAC. If you don't already have honey, you could be straight up missing out. It's literally free, and installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting us here on The Angry Chicken. We wouldn't recommend something we don't use, so go get honey for free at joinhoney.com/TAC. That's joinhoney.com/TAC. And now, for a segmented Battlegrounds chat, as opposed to completely off the cuff, which will be entirely different from the chat we already had.
Friend.
Battlegrounds is weird.
If you wanted structure to this show, you should have made a notes document or something.
I was gonna say, Garrett, you're setting the bar really high for this chat. You know that, right?
Battlegrounds is weird. We've kind of already talked about how weird it is. Lag issues remain. Your mileage may vary. Mine varies from game to game. I might have a lag-free experience. I might have a crippling experience that makes it feel like I'm back on my shared family computer trying to play the original Counter-Strike on a 56K modem going, Mom, don't use the phone! That's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as I have more than 3 pirates on board, that someone at Blizzard's like, oh, she wants to try APM. All right, up that lag switch. Let's go.
I mean, if that's how it worked, they're doing it to everybody because everyone's just going for pirates like it's Murlocs. Like, pirates is the thing to chase. If you're not chasing that, you're chasing Murlocs. Honestly, the most interesting games I've had lately is when pirates and Murlocs are not in the lobby. Naga fell off an absolute cliff. They are just bodied in the ground. Elementals haven't been good in what feels like a year. Dragons also aren't as hot as they used to be. Pun very much intended. And they're both already gone, but no one can seem to agree on whether things like Diablo or Buddies are good or bad.
Yeah, I feel like Naga, it was kind of, I mean, everyone knew Siren was good, but like, I don't think I can remember another tribe in Battlegrounds that so revolved around one specific card. Like when Siren was really low, Naga you had to take it every time and everyone fought for them. And then they upped the cost of Naga of Siren for what, like a couple days before they threw it out completely. And they were still really good. Like even it was what, a tier 3 to a tier 5 minion, and that still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Floating Watcher was pretty gross, but we're going a long time back. That's a long time ago. But I don't know, if you took SI Sephin out of Battlegrounds right now, Murlocs would be unplayable.
Oh yeah, Megasaur. Or like OG day Megasaur.
Okay, yeah, Megasaur, sure.
Somewhere there is a Jonathan Vigil furiously typing a tweet. Yeah. No, Celestlon says Nomi for early elementals. Funny, I feel that way about Ragnaros for early elementals.
But original Little Rag was a tier 5 minion, which was kind of dumb. So, like, there are...
There's previous examples.
Yeah, but current Little Rag at tier 6 is kind of dead, because that's what you're going to be if you try and win a game by getting Little Rag.
I mean, obviously the difference between 5 and 6 is pretty significant, but like that was like that minion's still in the game. Like Nomi's still in the game. They've been changed, they've been moved a tier and that kind of stuff, but like Siren was deleted. Like she was yoinked.
She's got to be coming back soon, because you can really tell Naga was designed around it. And right now we have Nagas, which I'll remind people are snake people with no scaling. How can you have snakes with no scaling?
Wow.
I think I'm going to be sick again.
Not right. Like, okay, it's funny because it's
pretty
true.
Bad even for you.
I just got done with COVID, and this is the sickest I've felt in a month.
I miss you too, buddy.
Oh God.
But it's funny because it's true. Because what do you do when you have Nagas? It's the spellcraft just sits there one time.
You get 8th place more often than not. That's what you do.
Yeah. I will say,
but don't worry.
I'm looking at the tier list right now in HS Replay. I never thought I'd see a world where Pirates was far and away the best composition. That has never happened either.
Yeah, and that's where, like, to me,
on-release Pirates were pretty crazy. I remember being really mad about on-release Pirates.
Was it on-release? I feel like they were kind of a dud on-release.
They were bad. They were the worst tribe.
They needed an update.
Because Pirates is what made them push elementals. I was mad about Arcane Cannon. That
Cannon. I was like, there was some reason that I was very mad about. I forgot about Cannon.
Yeah, Cannon can piss off, and that was considered part of Pirates, but it was not a pirate, which is what made it good, because you didn't have to play it with
I believe it shipped off.
You took your shot, Garrett. I appreciate that.
Yar.
So yeah.
Just stop the show dead in its tracks.
Yeah.
While we're here, I'll tell you what. I played one Battlegrounds game this patch. I'm going to tell you about it because it's a Pirates game, because I want to do that, and none of you were talking. So here we go. So it was a Shutterwalk game, and I learned from Slicer, from Slissa herself. I'm like, you know what I'm supposed to do with Shutterwalk? I'm supposed to take tokens, power level, and then get some triples. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I power level Shutterwalk. I took 3 Alley Cats, did the warrior curve, power leveled, and on tier 5, I played 2 of them, got 2 goldens, and 2 tier 6s. One was Nosy Looter, the other one was Nosy Looter. Okay. 2 turns later, I get 2 goldens, Eliza and South Sea Strongarm. I'm Pirates now. And then I didn't win the game because Murlocs. But I completed my deal 1,500 damage with Battlegrounds minions in one game. I did indeed at one point have 2 golden Elizas and a regular Eliza.
What? That is, I'm pretty sure, all the Elizas.
I don't know if the golden that I got off Nosy counts as 3, but it was a lot. Yeah. So numbers got pretty big numbers. It was fun.
Yeah, I've been having enough fun. It's just I've been, while I was sick, I enjoyed just reading everyone's tweets with their hot takes on Battlegrounds, and everyone that feels like has a hot take on Battlegrounds right now. And then, I've been enjoying getting back into it, but yeah, there's just something about it just feels off. I'm not particularly angry about any one thing. It's just that, I don't know, it lacks like a thrill. I don't know. It seems like there's a missing piece, and I know there's quite literally a missing piece from Naga, but I don't know. It feels like Battlegrounds always needs that extra layer of something, whether it's a buddy, whether it's a Dark Moon prize. I would be, if they announced tomorrow that they were just going to drop Dark Moon prizes just back in the game, how it affects current tribes and hero balance be damned, I would be thrilled.
I think it would be really interesting because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that interacts with spells now, particularly with Naga. It just seems like there's more activators and triggers and things. So it might be kind of cool to just get a spell every 4 turns.
Yeah. It feels like that what you're describing here, though, because Garrett, you're right that there's if someone has a take on Diablo or Buddies, you can just be sure that it's a new it's a different take from the previous one you read from somebody else. And that's probably why it's really hard for the BG's team to make people happy routinely, because they're kind of doing this on again, off again cycle of extra mechanic in, extra mechanic out. Anytime the mechanic is in, the people that don't like extra stuff are like, give me back BGs. And then anytime it's out, people are like, I'm bored with BGs. And there's not really a way to fix that without 2 Qs, and I don't think they're going to do 2 Qs. They could.
No, and I'll tell you
know.
too, the conversation I've been really enjoying the most, because I think it leads to the most impossible place that you find an answer, but also some of the most interesting discussion, which is the focus on the popular opinion that there are just too many damn heroes. But that way lies just a lot of interesting conversation, because, like, to me, and I think to a lot of players, but again, it's very personal. It's like you look at it and you're just like, well, there's just a lot of heroes that we kind of generally consider unplayable or just so horribly optimized that it feels like you're really at a deficit when you get an assortment of 4 of these, bottom tier heroes. But, like, to me, I also kind of focus on the fun side of it. Like, I don't know, I just I get guff and I'm just like, A, he sucks, and B, like, cool, press a button, like, there's just not really much to it either. But that's where I like having that conversation. I like trying to figure it out and talk about what's fun to me and why it's fun versus what isn't fun. But it's also so deeply personal. It's like, how the hell do you even come up with an answer to this? Like, how do you come up with any sort of concrete suggestion? Unless you're talking really generally, which is like, take everything that's like in tier 4 on HS3 Play and get rid of it, kind of a thing, which I think is almost too general and too hand wavy, because there is a lot of intrigue in there. You have heroes like your Bigglesworth, which I think all 3 of us love, even though Bigglesworth has struggled for a long time. Although I guess Bigglesworth did pretty well with Buddies. Chinvala's another one.
Because the ability to get something from your opponent without them having to die was good. I think Bigglesworth is one of those really funny heroes that, like, some people for some reason just really, really, really hate that it exists, because I find whenever I pick Bigglesworth, there's at least one person in my lobby who will sell their whole entire board. If they're pretty sure they're going to die to their opponent, they're just like, fine, you know what? I'm going to die. You can't have any of my minions.
Spite is a very strong motivating factor. Never underestimate.
Which is the kind of thing that doesn't impact that many heroes, but Bigglesworth is definitely a huge one. And I think that, like, it's really hard to just, like, draw a line in the sand in terms of, like, saying everything below a whatever level on HS Replay, because HS Replay is an aggregate site, right? Like, we've seen, even with, like, because the armor value changes depending on what stuff's in the lobby and how good things are, right? That's why we have the ranges on the characters. So if it depends on what else is in the lobby, like what minion types are in the lobby, then that means sometimes they're better than others. And, like, it's really hard to say, like, this is exactly where we're going to cut the set of heroes, because, like, maybe in some specific lobbies a hero's above that line, but then in other specific lobbies it's a terrible pick. Like, there's some fluctuation there. So I think it's a hard line to draw. Like, obviously there's some that are just pretty much always good, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good rundown. It's like it's I think it's a hard line to draw is a really good way to kind of sum it up. What I had a thought there and I totally lost it. Go ahead, Hat.
So, like, if you just cut the bottom, that's called power creeping. We don't want to do that, because just making everybody unilaterally
don't cut the bottom
and making.
What do you have against bottoms, Hat?
I'm not a bottom, the bottom. That's wrong.
Okay. Just making sure.
No.
Sorry, I derailed your answer.
The segues I have here, I don't want to say on the air because we have a sponsor read the
show. We save that for the after show.
Yeah, it's
the after show. By the way, is when we turn off the stream and we make sure nothing's recording.
So, anyways, like
dirty
if you just cut
segues,
off,
says King Listen Chat. Continue. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm good. I'm good. So if you just remove the heroes that aren't performing and you have a lobby entirely full of characters of heroes that constantly do well and high roll, then every game is going to have a lot of high rolling, and we don't want that. And it's like this is not something that I think you can come up with a unilateral decision based on some characteristic. The balance team would have to go through heroes. The design team would have to go through heroes and be like, this one isn't adding anything or is kind of boring. Like you can go to Pyramid. You can go to Guff, you can go to Vandar. Those three at the bottom, they're just 8th place heroes, and they're not interesting, but I think the interesting part is what matters. I don't know if Patchwork needs to be around. And Patchwork is okay, but, like, when are you picking him being like, I'm going to do something different this game? No, you're going to level 1 turn faster, maybe, and then that's the sum total of your experience, and you were playing pure vanilla Battlegrounds, at least with Cthulhu. You press the button on turn 1 instead of playing a minion, and, like, you just press that button every turn, and that's just something that you do as a hero that is active and involved, and it's different from other tribes, and you have some idea of what to do, and I don't even
Well, and you
mind
can make some decisions too, right? Because then, like, having just 1 or 2 minions might be a better choice than trying to fill the board as fast as possible and get the initiative in your attacks and stuff. Like, maybe you want to stack all your stats on what, like, there's some decision points more so than just I'm going to power level.
Yeah. So, like, I want the heroes where the decisions. Like, it's one of my favorite heroes from a design perspective. The current version of Reno Jackson, 0 gold, 0 mana, 0 gold, whatever, make something gold in this game. You have a really key decision. It plays differently from game to game. It's dynamic. It's interesting. Sometimes you run away with the game. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes that's because of your hero power. Sometimes that's in spite of it. Not too good. Really interesting. I want more like that. But something like Patchwork, he's only okay. There are worse heroes than him, but there's never a game I played Patchwork and like, that was a classic Patchwork game, just like totally did this thing that I only do on Patchwork. There's nothing. There's nothing there.
In a weird spot, and we haven't even talked about the fact that we mentioned in the past that it's like, I'm sure the fact that they sell skins weighs in some fashion. Which I don't think is necessarily bad.
With cutting. Oh, you mean like with taking heroes out of the pool?
Yeah. Because Battlegrounds skins aren't cheap, and this isn't even me coming down hard on it. I like the cosmetics a lot. I love seeing the different heroes, but I have to imagine that plays some role because it is kind of reducing the value of something like that if these heroes get taken out.
Though they have a weekly rotation where like 20 heroes are just either randomly or specifically removed for a week, and then the next week they're back. I don't know why they don't do hero jail. Well, I know why. It costs developer time and is a pain in the butt and is weird and funky and also creates variance. And theoretically, if people really like a hero, they want to be able to play with them. But with 80 heroes, you're not really likely to find what you're looking for anyways. I think it would be a system I'd look into of just having like 20 heroes or whatever per week just not around. And they come back. So your skins are okay.
Yeah, like a rotation. I feel like I agree with you. I would like I mean, I can't remember. Do we have like 40-ish on launch?
Are we going to get to a point where we have a Battlegrounds forum posts that look like the old arena bucket posts? We're like, well, we're now revealing hero buckets. Here's where all of them sit. And this week we're going to have this bucket, that bucket, and the other bucket. And next week that bucket will go out and this other bucket will come in. Bucket, yeah. That's what they'll yell when they deploy this. You know what? Bucket. Yeah, it's interesting. And yet I'm having a fun enough time. Like I said, usually when I'm like when I feel funky about Battlegrounds, usually I'm angrier. I'm just kind of like, this could be better. But I'm still
I'm not
fun.
mad about it. I'm still playing it. It's occupying this really interesting space, and I think it's since Diablo left, because I am one of those don't really love Diablo players. So Yeah, I feel like now that Diablo's gone again, I'm not mad about it. It used to be my like go-to when I launched Hearthstone. That's the mode I played, and now Standard is doing that for me. But yeah, I don't hate it. I'm not mad about it. I think it's in an okay place, but an okay place isn't necessarily exciting.
I would say you're like the truest chameleon, Joce. You just kind of like go between these two modes fluidly. Whereas Hat, you just play everything constantly all the time.
I have too many games right now, and most of my time isn't in Hearthstone at the moment. But it's even in Standard. There's not a commentary.
Wait,
in
what?
Necessarily. Yeah.
Do you not follow
Dude,
at Ridiculous
Stone.
Hat on Twitter? Have you not heard about his new Lord and
Twitter
Savior?
is
Runeterra?
not showing me all the things I want to see.
No, it's not, but it sure is showing me the same 4 tweets all goddamn day because they may have gotten an extra like.
Yes. Okay. As long as your Twitter is doing the same thing as my Twitter. No, I have not seen a tweet from Ridiculous Hat in the longest time, which means my Twitter is clearly broken.
Man, if only some
much better.
car creator would save us from Twitter.
I just need to go and like the last like 25 tweets of hats, and then Twitter will be like, oh, I see you like Ridiculous Hat. Have some in your feed. I'll be like, thank you. That's why I follow these people.
There you go. There you go. Retweet a bunch. However, make sure you like comment retweet, because if you just retweet, it like hurts your stock for your own personal Twitter algorithm.
I don't give two shits about
I have no
that.
idea how that stuff works. Yeah. Anyways, point here is there are a lot of really great games out there right now, and I'm in a lot of them, and Hearthstone is one of them, but it is not right now. It doesn't have its grips in me the way it does at expansion launches or miniset or whatever, and like it's not really a commentary on the meta, or at least it's not different from any other 4-set meta I played in Standard, where I want things to be more powerful than they are. I want decks to feel more complete than they are. Aren't enough cards in Standard right now to do that. Fine. Doesn't have like not everything is made personally for me, and I'm glad that it's not, so that other people have their turn. And right now it's like it's fine, but it's not. It's not this isn't stay up till 5 a.m. playing Hearthstone time for me.
You're a 5-set meta guy.
Exactly. And BG's
and we're getting soon. I mean, not to tear us back to Standard again, but
soon. It's interesting though that we're like not that far from Naga patch. What, 6 weeks? We're 6 weeks from the Naga patch. But it's interesting that they treated Naga as the season mechanic when a tribe is not a mechanic, especially when it's not in a bunch of games. Because Buddies was in every game. It was a thing that changed how BG's was. Now, if you get a game that just doesn't have Nagas in it, it's the same as before the patch. They refresh some units, but it's mostly just the same thing without buddies. So it's consistent. It's a consistent experience. But the most fun for me in Standard is when I can have fun while losing. The most fun I can have in BG is when I can have fun while losing. And that is tied to novelty. When the thing I'm losing to is cool and exciting and hasn't happened to me a million times. Because then I can be like, well, that was a good game. What the hell just happened? I'm going to go tell people about this. But if I lose to SI Sephin, having a bunch of poison Murlocs, people know how that goes. That's not a new and exciting experience. That people know how that goes. Right? So if we're losing without novelty, then the losses hurt more because it's the same thing that I've seen before, so there's no redeeming factor of novelty there. And BG's is kind of light on novelty at the moment because the newest thing is also the bad thing. And it was novel and interesting for a bit there, but also way too good and also tied in with BG's lag problems. So it was theoretically kind of rough even if you were winning, so they had to pull it back. They did. Nobody's. Then Diablo, but Diablo has his own set of problems. He is novel and interesting, but not necessarily in a way that I think they want to keep around for a while, so they didn't.
Yeah, that was a really good thing that it only was only around for a week.
It was a good time frame.
Yeah, I just, for whatever reason, they can't seem to nail the balance on him, in my opinion. I feel like when you have a Diablo round that then half the lobby dies to it, and like it's still the first or second, well, usually the second Diablo round, and like you lose 4 players, it's like, wow. Something's not right there.
And yet, I saw defenses of Diablo from notable Battleground streamers. I'm not saying it was the popular opinion, but I found it interesting.
Some people like it. It's just I don't know, that it's quite discouraging to me. I feel like is a hero like that's just so swingy.
I 100% had a day while I was sick, laying there being like, I'm gonna play some Battlegrounds, and then I went on Twitter and I saw Sunglitters tweeting about Diablo, and I was like, oh right, never mind. And I did not play Battlegrounds that day. But yeah, my point being is it's fascinating because no one can agree. No one can agree.
Yeah, which it kind of illustrates how difficult it is in general just to balance not only this game but every game really. Like some people are gonna love it, some people are gonna hate it, and yeah, that makes it hard to design. I don't envy them. I'm pretty sure I said that last week when I was like, buddies should just stay around for some heroes. Balance it.
Put them in the minion pool, but only for some heroes as opposed to like try that. Like frick it. Like I'm sure I'm just gonna wave my coding wand that just makes that work. And and it's already balanced. By the way, we figured out what tier they go at and how many copies there are, and so on and so forth. And dear God, I'm going cross-eyed. Hey, you want to take some questions? Let's take some questions. Or emails and or Discord and or chat questions. That's what we're going to do right now.
Hello.
Hello, it's me.
Hello.
Just quickly, do you get my message?
Yep.
Oh.
Hello, brother.
You can send your questions, your thought starters, your thing. You just want to watch us like bat it around like a cat with catnip. tacpodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're supporting us on Patreon, you can drop us a message in the question channel in our patron-only Discord. Skip the inbox entirely. Divik wrote us and said, are there decks you all wished you enjoyed playing, but when you tried them, they didn't click for you? Power level agnostic, of course, and any reason is applicable. Yes, anything rogue related, anything rogue at all.
Aw.
I mean, honestly, it's very similar to my question or my answer. It's just like I keep looking at Rogue and I keep trying. I had coaching from everyone. I coaching from him and coaching from you. I feel like I just whenever I sit down and try to learn Rogue, I always get a Rogue expert or someone who knows exactly what they're doing, and I'm like, when I have them in my ear, I'm like, okay, I think I do this, and this. And they're always like, yep, you've got it. And I'm like, okay. And then they get off the call. And then I'm like, wait, how do I rogue? And I go into games and I fail. I fall flat on my face and I don't understand it.
My brain just
shuts off.
My brain doesn't work like Rogue.
I'm going to give a 2-sentence guide to present and future Rogue aspirants. If you have more value, but you can do something now, just do it now. I don't care about your value. And if you're shadow stepping something, you better be playing it again that same turn, because otherwise you're probably making a mistake. Yes, this includes Edwin. Just play your cards, leave them in play, hit your opponent with them. You could get more value. I don't care. Do it now anyway. There you go. Take that.
I think, maybe that's the problem. Maybe I hold on to things too long. I don't know.
Everyone's problem with Rogue.
Like you need 2 pom-poms and you need to tell me how to spell B before saying the word aggressive. Oh my God. I do believe Ridiculous Hat for the audio listeners because he just got up. Oh, he's using, you need to center yourself Kirby's. More. You are very cropped right now. He grabbed 2 Kirby's and is now using them as pom-poms.
How do I do that in audio? Is there an audio way? There isn't.
You could just cheer. You could actually do the cheer.
Kirby's.
You also, by the way, didn't tell me to be aggressive. You just shook some Kirby's.
You just shook your Kirby's.
Don't shake your Kirby's in front of my face.
We would make that the show title, but the audio listeners will have no idea.
They won't get
it. So there's a question in chat. Why are there 2? So they can keep each other company when we're at work.
Oh my God. Hat, do you have an answer for this? You strike me as a man who wouldn't have an answer for this.
No, so I don't remember a ton of specific decks, but there is a feeling I will get sometimes where I just queue a couple games of the deck and I'll be like, I hate this deck. And it's it, a lot of times. So there is one example I can remember specifically, and it's a rogue deck. But
okay.
it's
All right.
actually
Hat, are you in trouble? Is this your like
No.
I'll blink 3 times if you are in distress.
I'll say which rogue deck it is and you'll understand immediately because it's not a rogue deck, it's an abomination. Nexium Apothecary in standard. Remember it was the 4-mana 2/5, the combo draw Death Rattle triggers battle or like gain it. Draw Death Rattle, this gains the Death Rattle with that stupid 9/6, and you would fill your hand with stuff. I would always draw the 9/6s first, or I would never have the combo activator, or get bounced or silenced or whatever, or wouldn't have the weapon on curve. And even when it hit, it wasn't clever or interesting. And it didn't play multiple cards in one turn. It was just dumb. It was just dumb and stupid and bad and wrong. So,
dude, you were giving me flashbacks to GVG Mech Mage because this was my experience. Never once, and I think I played 20 games in a day with Jocelyn watching me, and I never had the curve, never once. And I was just convinced that the deck was trash, but it turns out no, I was just actually the most unlucky human being on earth.
It was actually almost unbelievable. It was terrible.
I still remember that
this
day.
Is not what my Hearthstone games look like, Garrett. I don't know what's wrong with you or who you pissed off. But
I ever yelled the F word in your presence, like yelled it like angry, not like joking around, like frantic, like full on actual angry, dropping the F bomb. Yeah, that was a bad day.
Mech Mage.
So I can't believe your answer was a rogue deck.
Yeah, I did not see that coming.
It's the only one that I can really keenly remember is like, I hate everything about this. There have been some others. Anytime I try a Celestial Alignment Druid, that's not the fun part of Druid for me. Like, the fun part of Druid for me is getting a bunch of mana and then doing stuff with it, not giving it all back and then doing, like, one broken thing. Like, I want to keep the mana and then play a lot of stuff. That's what I like about Druid. And
that's why you like Guff.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
He is. He gives double the things.
Funny enough, I think Druid was the last.
All away.
I think Druid was the last deck that I went, this is stupid. That was the most recent deck.
It'll happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Like and there are other decks as well where like I've really tried. Some of it is, I remember Burn Shaman and Alterac. I wanted to be good at it. And I super duper wasn't for a while. And I was like, is this deck really hard to play or am I just bad or whatever? And that experience was really unpleasant. Eventually I got there and like kind of figured it out, but still like didn't feel super confident on it and still don't feel super confident on it in the current meta. But that's a different kind of not clicking where I kind of get the idea of what it's trying to do. I just can't make the thing happen. And that's a very different, frustrating feeling of not, I wish I enjoyed playing it. I wish I could make it do what I see it do for other people.
That's every deck I try in Hearthstone. It's like someone beats me with something and then I'm like, I'm going to try that. And then I just can't do it. And I'm like, oh.
You're like me. You want it to work the first time. And then when it doesn't,
yeah, that's true. I have a very, very small tolerance for like failure.
Yeah.
It's like, if it doesn't work first time, the deck is terrible. I'm terrible. This game is trash. Why am I doing this?
I was going to say that with more words, but you summed it up perfectly.
Yep. Hey, Joce, what does Mix have to say?
Mix Clouds wrote in and said, I would love to know your favorite Hearthstone metas that you've played over the last couple of years. What do you love about them? What decks did you play during those times, or what made them special for you? I'm probably going to make a lot of people angry because I'm going to say I liked quest lines. Like when they first came out, I quite enjoyed them.
I just saw 5 multicolored toes kick in the door, and it's Brian Kibler.
Right at the beginning.
It made me play Warrior. Listen, I kind of like it too. I am over it now. That kind of stuff, I feel like a year max. When it goes beyond a year of things that samify games, that's where that's where I turn. That's where I turn on them. But yeah, no, I
think some of the quest lines really made, like, I missed Quest Shaman because those games weren't the same. They were dynamic and different because you were reacting to stuff. And then maybe you did the charge call ending, maybe you did the burn damage, but like, I miss Quest Shaman a lot.
I feel that that's kind of the exception to the rule, though, right? Because there was variance. There was more variance with that quest line than others.
There's a larger scale discussion here that doesn't fit in the scope of this question. So, Garrett,
I respect the
what are
shit
some
out
of
of
your
that.
favorite Hearthstone metas you would play?
Fair.
I could talk about that topic for a very long time, but we shouldn't right now because it's in the past.
God, this interesting.
I didn't mean to open wounds.
Honestly, the first 2 weeks of this standard year, I was vibing on standard like I hadn't in a really long freaking time. Like Mech Paladin, there was this window of 2 weeks where it was the only thing I wanted to do, and it matched up well against the field. And then everyone figured out how to play Demon Hunter. And then suddenly my opinion turned on a dime, and I wanted nothing to do with this 4-set meta. But there's quite a few. Then I think back to like when we first started like becoming buddy with Jonathan Vigil. I loved Dragon Hunter. I played the shit out of that deck. I abused the living crap out of it, and we're talking years back now. And then even further back, much further back, probably the warmest fuzzy feeling I've had, and really haven't had one since, was now I'm going to make people mad, was even an odd meta. Because a very good friend of mine got back into Hearthstone, and this is the friend of mine that introduced me to Magic the Gathering like 2 years before Hearthstone came out. And I haven't had a local friend playing Hearthstone since then. All of my friends, local and that I don't sit on this podcast with, have quit playing this game. I have no other friends that still play this game. And there's nothing like playing a card game and like having like a real life friend that you can like bounce notes off of, and it captures a spirit of in-person card games that is very special to me. And I haven't had anything like it since, and I wish my friends would play this game. But yeah, we were both like learning how absolutely stupid broken Odd Pally was. Together, like in the moment, and it was just so fun to like just like be looking at each other like, this is truly stupid, right? Yes, we're gonna go straight to D5 without even blinking. Okay, it was great. It was such a fun experience.
That sounds fun. That answer forgives you saying odd and even, because friendship is magic.
It went to an emotional place.
It was.
And Odd Paladin wasn't even the good Paladin deck.
I may have meant even. I legitimately don't remember.
Even Paladin had 4 mana called Arms. That was a good one.
That was it. There's a lot of dudes. I just remember a lot of dudes.
No, I bet you remember that now. I bet you, yeah, it is. But but Odd Paladin was still really good. But Even Paladin was crazy busted, and they both existed at the same time.
There was just something very special about shared villainy.
Yeah. That's a great answer, Garrett. I understand why that memory is special, and it sounds like a real positive connection with the game and with your friend.
What about you, Hat?
So, Ungoro, basically all of it. Ungoro Burn Mage is still my favorite deck ever. Really love...
The question said last couple of years.
So
we're doing that.
Garrett's going back to odd
I
even,
missed
and you're
Death
going back
Knight
to
Warlock.
Ungoro. I'm like,
what was Ungoro really?
I want Death Knight Warlock and Death Knight Druid back. Yes, you all hate me.
It's if Death Knight Gul'dan was in standard today, he would have gotten nerfed within like 2 weeks of release, because that hero power is completely nonsense.
Favorite meta ever is probably Frozen Throne meta. That's probably favorite meta ever reasonable. For me.
But yeah, Ungoro Burn Mage still my favorite deck ever. Saviors, the month after Galaxy was nerfed and before Doom in the Tombs, one of my favorite metas ever, if not my actual favorite. Really, really amazing. I even enjoyed it with 5 mana Galaxy. That's how good Saviors was on launch. I played a ton during Skolo, but also COVID, so like I don't know if that counts. But I played a lot then.
You got COVID at Skolo?
No, the world was...
It's called Affliction.
It's true. Yeah, like a warlock. So that was a WoW. So, I get you. No, I was furloughed from my job, so I had a lot of time to play Hearthstone. But that wasn't a positive experience. It's not the car's fault though. I actually really liked a bunch of Stormwind and did really well with that. Actually, one of my favorite metas recently, the 2-week holiday period in Alterac, when Thief Rogue was the best deck, but nobody admitted it yet. That was the most time I had in Hearthstone because there were so many cool things to do, and every deck wasn't a rogue yet. About a week after that, people would figure out you can just put Knowles into Poison Rogue, and the format went to absolute shit in 1 second. And I like took a couple weeks off. But that brief 2-week period after they nerfed alignment in Octo and all the combo decks at the end of Alterac, and we got that cool developing meta again. Really, really great time. Alterac had amazing highs, but so many lows for me as well that like it's hard to say the expansion and the meta that came with it was great, but there were moments where I'm like, this is some of the most fun I've had in the game, and there are other moments where I'm like, I don't want to open the client right now, and they happen within weeks of each other.
Good God. Some good answers. That was a good question, Mix. Good damn question. I apologize to everyone who has to follow it up. Like The Village, I apologize to you. What do you do when you're falling out of love with Hearthstone? This is relevant to some of the conversations we had today. Nothing in the game is exciting me really, and I get really bored with it much quicker nowadays. I play other games, and it sounds like you're playing other games.
Yeah, you two should go first with this question. I have a prepared answer.
Joce, I think I know your answer. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You're always playing every game.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I think it kind of comes down to balance, like not game balance. Like I'm not talking about meta balance. I mean like balance in your gaming life. It's awesome to have a game that you really enjoy, but if that's the only thing you ever spend your time on, you're bound to get burnt out. So, I mean, since we've started the show, I've, been just a general gamer. I have another show that's like, hey, what am I playing this week? And it's always something different. Like I'm doing like AAA titles, I'm doing MMOs, I'm doing like single player, multiplayer, like PvP based stuff. Like I'm all over the place. And Hearthstone, like it's the only card game I'm super ultra mega invested in. I dabble in a couple of the other ones as they come out, but Hearthstone is the one I've stuck with. But it's not the only thing I play. It's not the only thing I spend my time in. I spend usually I'll do like a BG's round on my lunch break, and then I'll play a few games of standard after I get off work, and then that's about it. I don't play Hearthstone for 4 or 5 hours a day. I'll play like a little bit of Hearthstone, then I'll do my dailies in WoW, then I'll play a couple of hours of whatever single player story content game I'm into. Like I mix it up so that I don't ever really get bored. And that kind of Garrett earlier called me a chameleon for just kind of like going through and like trying all the different modes and playing all the different modes in Hearthstone. And like, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm never going to be like rank 1 legend, but I'm still having fun after 8 years, 9 years. How many freaking years has it been now? A bajillion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joce, do you remember like most of the conversations we had in 2018?
Do I remember the what and the what now?
Most of the Hearthstone conversations we had in 2018.
Oh, I remember some of them.
It's ready to just burn the game to the ground. Like I thought it was so bad. That whole year was just a nightmare in my opinion. And yeah, like you just thank God for Battlegrounds. Like I would have been gone without it. I really would have. I couldn't stand standard.
Well, I think we both would have. I mean, everyone knows I was not a fan of Demon Hunter. Like I'm still not. It's one of my least favorite classes. I don't necessarily think it should be deleted from the game anymore, but also if somebody tripped over a cord and it got deleted tomorrow, that would be kind of okay. It's like, oh no, we broke the server. Demon Hunter was on there. Whatever shall we do?
I think I've firmly
that.
I have
the Demon Hunter chord. You know it's gonna be there.
I do kind of wish it was never added. I do kind of wish it was never added.
Oh, I know you're there now. But I mean, like, I was very out, like, I fell out of love hard with Standard at that point in time. And if there hadn't been a mode that kept me in it, then, you know, I probably would have been done too. But Battlegrounds filled that void for both of us. And now I'm back into Standard and I love Standard. So, I mean, like, yeah, it kind of, it's to be expected, especially after all this time, that you're going to fall out of love with a game that you've played for years and years and years. So, you know, just find something else and then, you know, come back for the next expansion.
So, you've gotten good advice, The Village. It takes a village. You've gotten.
Don't laugh at that. Here. Don't encourage him.
It takes a village to what?
To help the village. I don't know.
It's funny because it went nowhere.
Exactly. So, anyways,
you're better than this.
Here is, no, I'm really not. Have we ever met? I'm super not. That's the point. Is to hit the lowest common denominator and then and make that look fancy. Anyways, okay.
I don't think you understand how legitimately funny you actually are sometimes.
I really don't. So, The Village, you've gotten advice like this before. I'm sure other shows have said this. People talk about this, but I want to hear this because I'm not going to speak to you from my personal experience. Because my personal experience is an outlier. I have 3 Hearthstone podcasts. I run a Hearthstone league. I tweet about Hearthstone all the time. You should not follow my example. And I can't speak to you about my example because it's not the usual experience. The reality is, lifestyle games, people have a really hard time breaking up with the habits around lifestyle games and a really hard time dealing with the sunk cost.
That's why I still play WoW 100%.
Yeah. It's like reading the paper. When they ask people why they read the paper, when I did a poll this a while ago, Mark Rosewater references this a few times. The number 2 reason was to get the news. And the number 1 reason was because I read it every day. There are so many people where Hearthstone is their newspaper. They've been playing it for years. They press the play button because that's what they do when they're sitting at their computer and they're not sure what else to do. It's on the phone. They open it because that's what they do. So if you're not having fun, you're not losing any value by skipping quests because it gives you a currency in a game you don't want to play, and that is not valuable because you don't want to be inside the game. Uninstall it. Give yourself a break from the opportunity to play. See if you miss it. Because it's okay for your habit to be over. It's okay to move on. And if you miss it, you'll know. Just put it back. And there will be something you missed that will reignite the spark. But if you step away, if you don't complete your quests, and you're like, I feel relief, you have moved on. And it's okay for that to happen. Let it happen to yourself. You don't need to stick around just because it's a habit. It's a perpetual thing that you do all the time. And the friends you made through Hearthstone and the communities that you're in, you don't have to leave those places. You can still talk to those people. They still also play other games and do other things. They're still your friends. You're not losing anything by getting back time that you're currently spending in a game that you don't want to play. And the quest, the currency from the quest, is only valuable if you do something that isn't fun for you. It is more valuable to have your time back. Uninstall the game. Take a break. Whenever you find yourself reaching for the mouse, ask yourself, do I miss a thing about Hearthstone? Or am I bored and this is what I did for years? And if you take a month off and you're like, you know what? I really want to play some Druid right now. I really want to play some Mage right now. You are attracted to a thing that you want to do. Go back and do it, and you should have fun. If you don't, it might be something else.
Unless you're playing Control Warrior, then please continue not playing.
And then just leave and don't come back.
The current Control Warrior deck, it doesn't even take that long to win. You just play from the depths on 3, and then the game is over on turn 9. I played a Control Warrior mirror, and I killed my opponent before I got my 10th mana crystal because I had 4 from the depths that game, and they had 0. So I strongly recommend that experience. But yeah, it's
whatever makes the game end faster, man. I don't even mind losing as long as it's quicker.
But yeah, if you have a thing that you want to come back to after take a long break, like a specific, I want to do this thing that happens in Hearthstone, go for it, come back, feel the spark, whatever. But if you don't, and it was just a habit that you built up over time, free yourself of the habit and then see what happens. And if you move on, that is a net win. And also, you still had many years with Hearthstone that were fun. That was a net positive. And then you can do something else now. It's okay.
Yep. Let's take King Dupless's question. All right, fine. I'll read it. Here's a question: Best bartender in Battlegrounds.
Because he hasn't read one yet. I was expecting Hat to jump right in there.
Best bartender in Battlegrounds. Go.
Algalon. 100%.
Who are the bartenders now?
There's a billion of them.
I think
Algalon, Alterac Bob, Bartender Bob, Bartendotron, Dragon Speaker Bob, Elder Star Song, Fizzy, Flightmaster Dungar, Gala Medivh, Great Father Boom, Hearthstone Brew, Headmaster Kel'Thuzad, Mega Bob, Pirate Bob, Ragnaros, Tiki Lord of Venari. Also, isn't Neptulon one?
Yes.
I got Tiki Lord, which I think was like one of the very first cosmetic things they ever sold.
Yeah, that was one of the first. That was one of the first, I think, alternate bartenders. Was Tiki Rag.
Have acquired,
and he's still mine.
Multiple others, and I have not turned off Tiki Lord Rag the entire time. He is the permanent bartender now.
Really? I had the little fizzy guy for a while.
Oh,
you literally call
that
Fizzy.
Was just
cute.
Okay, because it's adorable. And then now I don't know. There's something about Algalon that I find calming. No comments about Algalon.
I have
Tiki Lord Ragnaros is the only bartender. I literally haven't seen another bartender since I got Tiki Lord Rag.
Yeah,
got nothing.
I don't think I have Algalon, and all of his voice lines are like, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, he's this giant celestial, doesn't have time for you being. So his kind of I just love his voice lines because they're very I'm intrigued by you, but I shouldn't be because you're so insignificant. What is happening to me? I don't know. It does something for me. I like it.
If he doesn't have time for us, why did he get a job in customer service? I mean, I guess a bartender not having time for me is not a new experience, but it feels like just pick a different line of work.
Could you imagine if you went to a bar and they just put a random assortment of bullshit on the bar and they're like, this is it. This is what you have to pick from. You can give me money and I will give you a new random assortment of shit. It might be the same shit. It might be worse. But if that's how we drank, oh boy. I'm glad that's not how it works.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you went to a bar and the bartender was 100-foot tall celestial titan that wanted to exterminate all life on your planet?
That'd be pretty neat.
The extermination of life part, I'm kind of not cool with. But the rest
No, but see, I'm sure I could win them over. That's my thing. Is I think that these giant celestial beings just need to meet me.
I can fix him, Algalon, okay?
If you want to win him over, you need 19 other friends with good DPS.
You want to fix Algalon, you get 19 of your closest buddies and you kill him.
Yeah.
I guess you could have 10-manned back then. We had 10-mans at the time. Never mind. Anyways.
Poor Algalon. Oh, Algalon's only 15 feet tall. Okay, sorry.
Celestalon apparently one of those people.
Actually does.
Celestalon apparently doesn't get scared by the stilt people at haunted mazes at theme parks, okay? I, for one, get frightened by the stilt people. All right, Joce, take us home with Grimly's question.
Grimly HS says, with Tyrael now in the game, what Diablo characters are you looking forward to seeing come to Hearthstone in some form? I want Deckard. I'm assuming Tyrael is in Mercs? Because I wasn't 100% sure that he was actually in the game.
I did not know Tyrael had come to the game. Is it Mercenaries?
It must be Mercenaries. It must be.
Tyrael is free in the shop for everybody.
Ah, okay. Oh, I actually think I did go and claim him when that first popped up because I was like, it's free. Why wouldn't I click the yes, please, it's free button?
I want the horrifically gorific severed head from the new Necromancer trailer. I just want R-rated gore in Hearthstone. Just a one-off. Where it's just like, oh God, how did this get by?
I don't think that they're actually allowed to do that because of the rating system, right? Oh, okay. You just want it. Period. Make it happen. Got it. Like,
I just want an offensively gory one-off where it's just like, oh Jesus, what is happening?
Yeah, see, Dazzledore in the chat room gets it. You have to clear the exclamation mark from the shop. You have to do it. I always have to clear all my exclamation marks everywhere. It drives me insane.
You would hate my achievements on my EU account.
Oh God. Oh, how, Garrett? I don't get it.
Well,
but yeah, in terms of what Diablo characters, I mean, Diablo, I'm not as familiar with. I played D3, and I mean, obviously, Deckard Cain is like the big one, right? I don't know.
The lore character outside of bad guys.
Yeah, I was
going to
say like
character from Diablo.
Yeah, so I would say like
arguably. Yeah.
Oh, he would be a good bartender, says Grimly.
Really good bartender.
Yeah, that's
kind of where you'd have to put them, right? Unless you were gonna, because I mean, in standard Hearthstone, at least, we've never had like those kind of characters. Like they're in like the side modes in the battlegrounds and the like mercs of the world.
It's a very new thing, right? Too. On top of that, I always thought it'd be cool to do crossovers for BlizzCon cards back when they did stuff like ETC. If they did like one-offs that were gifted at events.
Yeah, that would be really cool. But I feel like the bad guys is kind of the way to go, right? Like we've already had Diablo, but for D4, I mean, obviously Lilith is a really good idea, right?
Belial, the Lord of Lies.
Malthael,
Mephisto.
I feel like all the ones I know are the ones I know from Heroes.
Yes.
Like whenever there's something that looks kind of creepy and I don't know where it's from, I just, that must be a Diablo character.
Must be a Diablo character you can play in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd be all for Malthael.
I want Wirt.
Who?
You had to find his wooden leg in Diablo 1 in the town.
Oh, wow. That is, Deep dive there.
With the wooden leg.
Never played Diablo 1, and I only played the Macintosh demo of Diablo 2.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back then, the best Mat games were made by Blizzard and Bungie. That was well before Halo. Marathon 2, though? Talk about Marathon 2 all day.
I can't. Because I never played it.
It was a Mat game.
I know it was a Mat. I am aware of it, but I can't talk about it because I didn't play it. I didn't have my own computer until basically college, and so the first Blizzard game I bought for that was Warcraft 3.
Certainly you played Myth, though. Myth the Fallen Lords. Also a Bungie game.
No.
I'm just pandering to Chad and chat right now.
Just
pure pandering.
Chad language, my goodness. Not a bunch of sailors in
he
here.
Gets excited.
That's for the pre and post show.
Yes, we are.
my virgin eyes, because I'm reading it in a text form, I guess.
Is that?
Yeah. I go Malthael. Thank you for reminding me of Malthael. I love Reaper Souls so much. Diablo Immortal just made me angry that we didn't get more Diablo 3. That's what it did. I was like, this is fun, but I'd rather just play Diablo 3. It's a shame. Oh well, Diablo 4 looks sick. And this episode was sick, but not me, thank God.
Hooray!
You can send your emails to tacpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to support us, we are supported by our wonderful patrons who have decided to head over to patreon.com/TAC and support us directly. Also, a huge thanks to our producer, Dustin C. If you want to get the back catalog of episodes, they can be found at theangrychicken.com or youtube.com/amove2 for the video version. You can follow the show on Twitter at TAC Podcast, and you can catch us live Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time-ish. Always late. Twitch.tv/ShameTV. Joce, before we go, where can folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch. I am at Joce Plays. That's JOCE Plays. And go check out my general gaming podcast, The Gamers In. We're going to be talking about the Quarry. The Quarry.
The Quarry.
as well as all the stuff from the Xbox showcase that was over the weekend. So, including Diablo 4.
I enjoyed that showcase.
I thought it was really good.
I think it goes to show how much presentation plays a role, because there was also nothing new there, but there was nothing new at Summer Games Fest, and it was such a Mountain Dew commercial, I was annoyed.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just something about the way that they did the showcase that I found to be like, it seemed like they moved things along pretty quickly. They had a bunch of trailers that looked really cool, and yeah, it was good. I liked it.
I really want to play Starfield.
Are we talking about the Xbox?
The Xbox.
Xbox Bethesda
showcase. I have 3 words. 3 words. Silk Song. Silk Song. Silk Song. We finally got 80 seconds of new gameplay and Christopher Larkin music, and I am here for it.
I'm honestly just glad that Starfield has a release window and also a whole bunch of gameplay and stuff like that, because the sooner they get that shit out the door, the faster they can make ESO 6.
I'm glad you're so excited this game might be done soon so they can make the one you actually like.
Exactly.
Customize my own ship.
They said, they said 1,000 planets in Starfield, and I was like, oh, that's either really empty or I'm never going to see it all.
I do.
Too many.
I am very skeptical about the quantity. I have quality concerns about their quantity, but I can customize my ship, and that's legitimately the only thing I care about. So, yeah. By the way, Joce, the way you're feeling about Starfield is the way I feel about any Fallout game. Like, cool. Brown, the sequel, is coming out. Yay. I don't. Fallout's never really worked for me. I don't get it. But I like Elder Scrolls.
I'm assuming you're just waiting for them to go back to Boy.
What?
Boy?
Fallout Boy.
Oh, Fallout.
Yeah, before we go down, where can folks find you, Hat?
Your internet cut out, so I didn't hear the punchline, but I assume it was funny.
I think he threw it to you to see what your stuff was. Where can we find you?
You can find me making bad jokes on this show, and also sometimes I make bad jokes on the internet instead. So find me at twitter.com/RidiculousHat, where I weaponize them into pure pun form in very brief formats. But also, I do multiple other podcasts that also talk about Hearthstone. Coin Concede, Hearthstone podcast that makes the competitive side of the game more accessible to you over at coinconcede.com, and Vicious Syndicate, where we take a data-driven look at the high-level standard metagame. So over at vicioussyndicate.com. Joce, where can people find you?
We already did me. It's Garrett now.
Garrett, Joce, where can people find Garrett?
Can Garrett hear us?
Oh my God.
I've been paying attention.
Hi, I'm Garrett. I'm my own person and can speak for myself. I'm Garrett Art on Twitter, where you can find myself tweeting because I am my own person. I can be found at amove.tv, where I'm podcasting because I'm my own person, and I can be found at youtube.com/amovetv, streaming Final Fantasy XIV and releasing new Final Fantasy XIV videos every Wednesday morning. I just completed Stormblood 4.0, and we'll be putting out probably the longest video yet on Wednesday, wrapping up my and Kyle's feelings on the first half of Stormblood. The ending was a lot. It was a lot. Our recording, which is currently being edited, was 90 minutes long.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I tried to watch some of that when you were streaming it, and I don't have a lot of context what was going on, and a lot is a good description to try and keep up with what was happening there.
Thank you for watching something you don't understand. That means a lot to me.
I
Anyways,
that you're there.
Yeah, go check that out. It's going to do it for this episode of The Angry Chicken. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for all the well wishes, everybody. And until next time, job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Chad, I could recite every lyric to every Fall Out Boy song, so that one song in particular would not be a challenge. So yeah.
I am exporting my audio now because Hat, I'm sure you're going to need it.
The sync track ain't going to cut it this week.
Yeah.
Y'all sounded crystal clear for me the whole fucking time.
Oh, really? Okay. I feel like the first time Hat made a face was about 45 minutes ago. And so I was like, yeah, no, I can't hear him either. We tried so hard.
There was a bunch of intermittent cutting. Yeah,
Me.
You said that your eye.
Chad, I get it. Yeah, it's telling me multiple times is just horribly frustrating and pisses me off because there's fuck all I can do about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you said that Kyle's been doing the stream hosting and your ISP just doesn't like uploading.
They have replaced all of my equipment twice in 3 months. So it is definitely a problem with their end of shit because it's
nothing on your
equipment.
property. Yeah.
They should replace themselves.
Yeah. I've seriously considered switching to the cable provider from Fios just to see if the upload is at least stable because they are clearly having a packet loss issue.
Fios cable. Is that I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I'm thinking about going from Fios to cable.
Wait, you have Fios?
I have Fios, yes.
What?
I'm supposed to have 100 over 100.
We have the same internet, and that is some good ass internet.
Yeah,
and is
supposed to be anyway.
The only issue is streaming, and really just with you. I don't know why. I don't know what the issue is. Yes, Dupless. That's exactly what's going on, which is why I'm so goddamn frustrated.
Yeah, kind of crazy because you're paying for internet that it should be able to do the stream while also streaming Netflix.
Yeah, at the moment I'm getting a quarter of what my upload is set to. It was fine for the first 40 minutes and then it took a dip and it has been erratic ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally fine right up until it isn't, and then it's just for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm aware. It sucks.
Well, local audio will fix all problems, or at least for audio listeners in post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Twitch, you're screwed.
I mean, I bet that it was probably better for them than it was
for
us.
Yeah, that's true. They're getting it straight from him.
Garrett, if you're hearing us clearly, then it should be good over there.
I don't know. Chad let me know there were issues enough times.
I'm sure in the VOD it'll be okay. It'll be fine.
Probably not.
The important thing is we're here together.
Yeah.
Yay, first 3-man show in months.
Huzzah.
We did it.
Right. There we go. Thank you for the audio, Joce.
You are welcome.
I'm sure I'll see Garrett's here in a second.
Do we have a title?
Fuck Frontier.
That's probably not it.
But it could be. You're saying there's a chance.
I'm not hard ruling it out. I'm not hard ruling it out.
I thought we had a title already.
Did we?
Yeah, I thought we had one. I just assumed someone wrote it down. And now I don't.
Currently title. It's during when you're talking about
Jesus Christ.
When you were talking about buckets, chat really dug that. So I forget.
Oh, we could just call it. It was. Well, I was saying it like fuck it. So, bucket it or space it. Buck it. There you go.
Sure.
There it is.
Nailed it.
Bucket, and I'm gonna say bucket to this stream.
Bye,
now
stream.
that it's recovering, now that my upload is going up in the lower right, I'm so glad that my ISP.
No, it works for pre-show and post-show.
Yeah, it's the important stuff, right?
Well, I've got
you have to trick the ISP into thinking that what you're saying isn't content, which I thought most of our show was doing. But we must have crossed that line in the second half somewhere and just made content too good. And they're like, "Oh, we got to dial it back."
Oh my god. Well, stream, it's been borderline nightmarish. We'll see you real soon.